She was a beautiful soul inside and out. She was the type when she walked in a room, she just lit it up.
A family searching for answers after a mom of two vanishes while on a cross-country trip. Her on-again, off-again boyfriend and the father of her children is now being investigated for her disappearance.
She had so much to give the world. She deserved her happy ending. And I think that just is what makes me so sad about this, is that I know that her happy ending got stolen from her.
33-year-old Caitlin Ferguson, better known to loved ones as Katie, was last seen by police on October 5th in Arkansas. Here you can see on Bodycam footage captured from that day by a Truman Police Department officer. Katie's seen in the front passenger seat folding clothes, while her ex-boyfriend Adam Aviles Jr. sits in the driver's seat, and two young children near the middle console.
How you guys doing?
Oh, okay.
What you guys up to?
Cleaning up.
Yeah, trying to clean up, head over to Jonesboro.
Say it again?
Trying to clean up and head over to Jonesboro. How are you doing?
Okay. Well, I was just seeing the door open and looked suspicious, so I had to come check it out.
Yeah, we're cleaning up. Yeah, we're going back.
So are you guys out of Wyoming, or?
Yeah, we're going back.
You going back?
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys have a ID or anything?
Yeah.
Is Arkansas an ID state? Is Arkansas an ID state?
Say it again?
Is Arkansas an ID state?
Is it an ID
A
state?
must ID state?
Well, I just need to verify you.
I don't think we've done that. I don't think we're breaking the law.
Okay.
Unless we got a call called on us, I don't think we've done that.
Well, I mean, it is a suspicious vehicle in a parking lot, so.
You call? Someone called in or you drove through?
I was driving right here and I see you guys,
No one called in.
so.
Okay. Yeah, then I won't. If it's not, if Arkansas isn't a must ID.
Do you have your ID on you?
I have no idea where my wallet is right this second.
What's your name?
Catherine?
Catherine.
Ferguson.
Catherine
Ferguson.
Ferguson?
Yeah.
Out of Wyoming?
Katie later tells the officer Adam met up with her after she and the girls were in Alabama, and she, Adam, and the girls were just passing through the area on their way to Wyoming.
Say it again?
We would have been at a hotel with Priceland, just a bunch of money, so he's been trying.
How long you guys been here in Truman?
Oh, just one night, yeah. An officer.
You guys just passing through?
Yes,
Get
yeah.
back to one.
Yeah, an officer came to the dollar store.
So what are you guys doing over in this area? I'm like traveling this way. You guys family or?
Yeah. Well,
She
no.
was down in Alabama.
Yeah.
Say it again?
I was with my family, and then he came up.
Where's your family? In Jonesboro?
No. It's all the way way down towards Florida and stuff. And his I took the girls for a while, and we separated for a while, and then we came back together. So he drove down to see me, and we decided just to get back together and take care of the girls. So.
Gotcha.
This is just the way from Cody Wild
Okay.
to Alabama.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be here at all.
All right.
The interaction would mark the last official sighting of Katie.
And the look on her face, I know my sister, and just the look on her face is just,
And Harlow.
it's bad. She looked scared. She looked like she didn't know what to do or what to say.
I spoke with Katie's brother, Alan Ferguson, and her mother, Mona Hartling. Mona tells me Katie was looking for a new start in order to get away from her tumultuous relationship with Adam.
I would often go over to their house just to make sure Katie was okay. When we all lived in Wyoming. Because I can't tell you how many times I would hear him say, I'm going to get rid of you and take the children. I've heard him say it over and over and over, and I was always terrified that he would do something. So whenever they'd be fighting, Katie would call me and I'd go over there. My mom literally moved in with them to protect her.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mona and Katie initially left Wyoming and moved to a safer place across the country in Alabama. But then things changed.
We were here and starting afresh and starting anew. And I believe the 3-year-old was missing her father a lot. And the baby hadn't even met her father. And I believe Katie wanted to that dream was still going in her mind that they could be this family, that they could be a good family, that, that the happy ending, and she called him and he ended up coming down, and um, he was going to move. He even brought a U-Haul full of things and everything. It's sitting in a storage down here now. And then um, he wanted to go back. We were all going to go back.
Mona and Alan believe something terrible happened during that cross-country trip and have very little hope Katie is even alive. Alan, who is very close to his sister, says she was known to always have her phone on her and was the type of mother who would never leave her children behind. But he got a sinking feeling when he didn't hear from Katie after attempting to reach her several times.
I attempted to message Katie a few times and got no response, but I just figured she was busy or whatever. But my mom said Adam kept giving excuse after excuse after excuse, and I don't know, something in that phone call that emotionally I could just feel something was wrong. It almost felt like I knew instantly that something had happened, and something I can't explain, but I cried that day because I could just feel it deeply that something was gone. Part of me had gone, and I just kind of sat next to my partner, and I was like, he did something. I was like, I feel it deeply. He did something. And then from my mom, if it wasn't from my mom, who knows how long he could have kept up the charade of pretending like she wasn't missing. you know he could have done it for months.
Court records reveal even more chilling details. According to federal court documents obtained by Law&Crime Network, Aviles had been spotted by law enforcement on 4 occasions during the cross-country trip. Katie, her 2 children, and Adam left Alabama in early October. On October 5th, Katie was spotted in Truman, Arkansas. On October 9th, Adam is pulled over by a state trooper in Texas. 2 days later, on October 11th, he's pulled over again, this time in Colorado, before his vehicle was found near the Oregon Basin in Wyoming. But investigators note the October 5th occasion was the only time where Katie was present in the car with him. According to Katie's family, Adam messaged Katie's mother to tell her she had wandered off in Little Rock, Arkansas, providing very little details to the concerned family.
His story that he told the police was that, like I said, he left Katie in Little Rock, Arkansas, without her phone, without her children, without her wallet, money, clothes, and decided not to tell anybody, not to tell her family, not to tell the police for over a month.
The federal court documents also help piece together what may have happened after leaving Arkansas and what led up to Aviles' arrest. Court records reveal on November 2nd, Katie's mother contacted the Cody Police Department in Wyoming to report her missing. Court documents say Katie and Adam were traveling when they stopped in Little Rock, Arkansas. Katie allegedly did a drug run only to never be seen or heard from again. On the same day Katie's mother called police, an officer with the Cody Police Department contacted Aviles and later interviewed him, noting it took place while Aviles was working on his 1999 Dodge Durango with Wyoming plates, which was the same vehicle Katie was last seen in. Just 2 days after police spoke to Aviles, the Park County Sheriff's Office received reports of an abandoned vehicle in a rural area. Once investigators arrived, they saw the exact same 1999 Dodge Durango with the same license plates registered to Adam Aviles. Court records also show during the initial inspection of the vehicle, they noticed trash bags were covering the windows of the car. And due to Katie's case being listed as a missing person, investigators broke a window, and what they would find next would be less than short of alarming. Investigators say once the windows were broken, they could smell the odor of putrefied blood coming from the vehicle. The passenger seat was missing, and there were multiple Clorox wipes inside the car. Investigators also found a Glock pistol magazine loaded to capacity with live ammo and a bullet hole in the front passenger door. Later, investigators found large quantities of dried blood, which the crime lab confirmed was human, and 3 fired bullets with a .45 caliber round. The complaint goes on to state while deputies were investigating Aviles' vehicle, he showed up to the scene with a gas canister. Aviles admitted to investigators the vehicle was his, and he returned to the car with the gas canister to fill up the tank, which Katie's brother believes was just a ploy, and that Adam really may have planned to destroy evidence.
And he was getting ready to burn the vehicle. He said he had ran out of gas in the middle of nowhere, with all the evidence in it. But so if my mom wouldn't have done that at that time, he could have already burned all the evidence.
Plus, there's more. According to court records on November 8th, Avila's father notified authorities he had previously observed his son with a handgun in the past. Officials say the description was a large caliber handgun consistent with a Glock 21. And during a forensic interview conducted by the FBI, Katie's 4-year-old daughter told investigators her father accidentally hurt her mother. But it's unclear as to the time frame Katie's daughter was referring to.
Can't imagine what they saw or what they went through. That kills me, you know.
Mona went on to explain the children thankfully are safe and are staying with their paternal grandmother. But the young children may have been witnesses to their father's alleged crime, as Katie's 1-year-old daughter may have a physical clue, a severe burn after returning from the trip.
We asked Carlo, the grandmother did, how did Everly get, the burns on her? And she said that Everly fell in the campfire.
Avila's was ultimately arrested not on murder charges, but for being a felon in possession of ammunition, which still gave a sigh of relief to Katie's family, knowing he's behind bars but still the target of a potential homicide investigation.
So that makes me very happy, knowing that he'll never get bonded out, and knowing that he's in federal prison and not just in regular prison. That makes me extremely happy.
So why wasn't Adam charged with murder? Law&Crime legal analyst Julie Rendelman explains it's the most appropriate charge at this stage of the investigation.
Absolutely. I think that they wanted a reason to hold him. They have a reason to hold him because having a bullet or any ammunition when you're a felon is a crime. And so I think that they're taking the time to make sure they don't rush to judgment. They're still, I'm sure, hoping to find her body. It doesn't require her body to be found in order for them to go forward with a murder, but it certainly makes it easier for law enforcement.
Rendelman says the circumstances surrounding Katie's case sound very familiar to another case that made headlines everywhere.
Anytime someone goes missing, our ears and eyes perk up and we start to wonder what's the backstory. And when you start to unfold the case here and some of the facts that we're hearing, I immediately think of Gabby Petito because we start thinking about a boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend who is the last person that potentially saw her alive on a road trip, which is similar to what we saw in the Gabby Petito case. And so obviously we can't jump to assuming that this young woman is dead, but there comes a point after a certain period of time where if an individual has not been heard from, has not been seen from, and one would expect that they would have, that authorities are going to start to assume the worst.
And while there was damning evidence such as bullet holes, Clorox wipes, and even human blood that was found inside Avila's vehicle, which may suggest something more disturbing happened to Katie, Rendelman explains authorities still have to complete a thorough investigation, especially with Adam keeping tight-lipped on Katie's true whereabouts.
I think it may be a little premature. When we talk about Clorox wipes, a lot of people have Clorox wipes in their cars, especially when they have children. But then you say, well, it's not just Clorox wipes. Now we have bullet holes. Now we have blood. And again, keep in mind, Elizabeth, we don't know yet whose blood it is. Obviously, if the blood is this young woman, then law enforcement is going to start to say, well, how did this blood end up here? And we don't know that this is true, but we've heard that the 4-year-old child made some type of statement indicating that her father, the child's father, had in fact injured the mother by accident. So we start to put all these pieces together. And let's not forget, Elizabeth, that when law enforcement gets to the vehicle, Mr. Aviles is headed there with a gas can. And so the question is, was he using it because he was going to fill up the gas, or was because he was going to destroy any evidence? And so all these pieces need to be clarified before law enforcement can make a final determination as to whether or not Mr. Aviles is responsible for the reason she's missing and or dead.
For Katie's family, they sadly believe it's the latter. Though Adam is locked up behind bars, they continue to fight for Katie, searching for answers as to what may have happened.
He took something so beautiful away from us that has left a massive hole in our family. She deserves to have her story told. She's not just a victim, but a mother and a sister and a niece and you know a daughter and granddaughter, and she deserves to have her story out there and told. And I think the more people we can save by telling her story, the better. Not only that, but the more exposure we get for her, hopefully somebody will see this and say, "Hey, I saw something, or I saw how Adam treated her at a gas station, or I saw this, and I never said anything, and I just ignored it." You never know what people see, or you know, when they see it, and all it takes is a little flash on the TV to be like, "Hey, I saw that couple."
She had those babies to raise. One of the worst things I know that our family could go through. One of the most tragic.
Katie's mother, Mona, says they're still waiting for the blood results to come back, but investigators are now combing through cell phone records to help trace their whereabouts during the trip. And Katie's family is asking if anyone may have witnessed seeing Katie and Adam during this time to reach out to law enforcement, because every little bit of information helps. Meanwhile, court records show Adam Aviles Jr.'s felony charge carries a maximum sentence of 15 years in prison. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, Aviles is slated to go on trial for that charge on January 22nd. Reporting for Law&Crime Network, I'm Elizabeth Millner.